It is a Monday evening. Welcome in, everyone. You are watching Weather Unfiltered. I'm Mike Bettis.
I'm Alex Wilson here with our expert, Dr. Rick Knabb. Might feel like fall today. Maybe we're thinking a little sweater action. Maybe we're thinking a hot coffee to go. It's not all bad ideas because some places, dare I say, you could swing it.
Well, you know how you feel after you've had a workout and then you get the shower and then you get the fresh, clean clothes on. The people around you are much happier because you don't stink anymore. The atmosphere feels like it took a shower, got a fresh clothes on, wearing deodorant for a change, you know, behind the front. In Florida, I would think they would say the weather still stinks.
Yeah, it's still pretty stanky down there. Well, the fall is when, we usually see the tropics heat up. A little bit of a lull right now, but heat kind of the opposite when we look at temperature through the first half of the week. We've got Fernand. This one's moving out. So outside of that, no dots in the Atlantic.
No, but that's what you call a head fake.
Yeah.
And you see what's happening in the Pacific side. That is foretelling that the Atlantic will probably ramp back up because the East Pack took a nap and it's getting active. We know what happened last time the East Pack got active. It wasn't far after that we had Aaron.
Yeah, so we'll get a little break for the next week or so, but then we'll talk about that forecast and what maybe the month of September could offer up, which we know becomes incredibly active.
September, we have a long, nasty history of hurricanes. September. It's buckle up for that month.
All right. Well, we've also, had a history on this show of loving ourselves a shelf cloud. So let's take you to the beach in Florida, where one of the most moronic things I've ever said on this show, and I have said some real zingers in the realm of stupid. So he was a clownfish. Sean's like, dude, Nemo was a clownfish. I'm like, I didn't know that. So angelfish too. I mean, they're cool. Let's not leave them out. But Nemo, clownfish. All right. Late August storminess. We've got the Central Plains, Southern Plains, the Mid-South getting in on a stormier pattern here. Rainfall to come between now and Thursday. We've got a lot of 1 to 2 inch totals, some 2 to 3 inch amounts in the mix as well. Right now, we've got some of the rain. I don't know why I just buzzed right by that. We got some rain from Oklahoma City over to Little Rock. Oklahoma City, things winding down for you, whereas they're going to be, bumping up in coverage around the Little Rock metro area. So moving forward, you can expect that light to moderate rain. Also areas to the south of Oklahoma City. Now tomorrow morning, notice rain back in the OKC area, also northwestern parts of the state of Oklahoma, sections of North Texas, even northeastern New Mexico could see some moderate rain shower action. So those areas into Colorado, New Mexico, you've got the risk of flash flooding, but that corridor where we're going to see repeated rain chances, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder, but I think it's going to be more of that moderate rainfall, possibility of some flash flooding between now and tomorrow morning. Now Tuesday morning, again, starting off with rain for Oklahoma City, for Little Rock, south of the Memphis area. I think those suburbs into northern Mississippi have a little better chance. I think later day brings a little bit of a lull in the activity, but, it doesn't last forever. By Wednesday morning, now we've got some more rain across central parts of Oklahoma. Then into the afternoon, we'll continue to watch for that. So jet stream diving south through the early part of the U.S., that's keeping that pathway open for sections of the southern Central Plains and also the Mid-South. And as these disturbances just come out of the Rockies one after another, kind of like a little gumball machine just rolling through, they're going to bring us shower and thunderstorm opportunities. You can see there's the first one. And so by late week, we still have upper disturbances that are helping to enhance the lift. That's what these disturbed areas will do. They'll get the lift going, and then we've got the moisture. We've got, some warming that helps to add to instability. And surface low pressure will also develop. That'll also provide more lift. But you notice the fronts, too. That focuses our moisture. Here's Wednesday morning. More rain showers, Kansas and Oklahoma. Wednesday afternoon into Thursday. A little drier, but Thursday morning. It's the morning commutes. I feel like, I'm curious if you asked folks, would you rather have a rainy morning commute or afternoon commute? I feel like, and you guys can tell me whether or not I'm right on X, but I feel like people would say afternoon, because in the morning when it's raining, all you want to do is stay in bed. You sleep in 10 extra minutes, then you're fighting traffic and it's kind of miserable. It kind of stinks on your way home and you're not home fast, but at least then it's not making you super sleepy. Anyway, Mike, over to you.
I could buy that argument. No. I really could. No doubt about it. All right, let's take you off to Phoenix and show you what we're dealing with in the 70s.
Yeah, speaking of comfortable temperatures, let's go to Pittsburgh. Do you all have your Aaron Rodgers jerseys ready? Yes? Okay, good. I don't think anybody does. We look at the forecast for the next few days. Actually, like what we got to do, Western PA, you guys are Pitt fans too, but I feel like there's Penn State across the board. And if there's one way Pennsylvania people, they are still wearing their jersey, but you put the hoodie under it. It's such a Pennsylvania thing. So a couple mornings this week, we're going to do just that. Forecast lows well below our average. Average low this time of year would be in the lower 60s. We've got upper 40s coming your way Wednesday morning, and you're like, ooh, that's crisp. You look down, you actually see some goosebumps. 47 Saturday morning, still below average with our low temperatures into Sunday and Monday. But Pittsburgh, you are not alone. So if you're looking at that forecast with some envy and you're like, that's not fair. I want that too. Other areas will be getting it as well. Through Friday, look at all these record cool highs and potential record lows that we could be setting, not just for parts of the Ohio Valley, but getting out into sections of the Midwest. A lot of the Southeast in play for some chilly temps too. So this front, it's doing its thing. It's bringing that drier air, that cooler air. As Dr. Knabb said, we've kind of like rinsed out the atmosphere. Sky's really blue out there today and super duper comfortable. Now tomorrow morning, we've got lows in the lower 50s, Detroit, Chicago, Indianapolis, and Pittsburgh. How about lower 40s in International Falls, 47 in Marquette, 50 in Lexington, Kentucky. So when we look at those low temperatures, Springfield, Illinois, your forecast could set the record low or the record cold low temperature. 47. That's pretty chilly for this time of year. Remember, it's still late August. Paducah and Dayton, both in the lower 50s or upper 40s. I think Paducah, you set the record. In Dayton, you're going to likely tie it. Lexington, you're going to be close. 50 wouldn't quite break the record of 48, but it'll be in the realm of possibility. Same with St. Louis with a low of 54 early this week. All right, tomorrow, forecast highs. We see some yellows on the map, and we have not seen those for some time. How about 70s, mid and upper 70s? For Chicago, for Minneapolis, for Omaha, for St. Louis, for Lexington, Syracuse out there on the quad, going to be downright comfortable. And even New York, Raleigh, and Atlanta, low 80s for late August. Very comfortable. Tomorrow and through several days this week, we're going to keep those highs below average. Look at sections of the Mid-South and Southern Plains, 15 to 25 degrees below average.
My goodness. Yeah, definitely a taste of fall there.
Channel TV app.
Well, 20 years after Hurricane Katrina, New Orleans is still rebuilding. But there's one home that still looks like it did just after the storm. And that's on purpose. Senior national correspondent Justin Michaels explains.
Florida fares a lot drier this week, Alex.
And we take you to the central part of the country where we've got rain there as well. So scattered rain showers right now between Oklahoma City and Little Rock. Generally light to moderate rain. It's kind of the norm through the early to mid part of the week with rounds of rainfall likely. So this first batch continues off towards the east. We're not watching areas south of Oklahoma City overnight, but I think that area lifts north just in time for your morning drive. So OKC, 7 a.m. on Tuesday, that morning commute featuring some wet weather. And it does also bring the risk of flash flooding with the rain showers out there today through about now, and then with more rain coming into tomorrow morning, could see some localized flash flooding between Oklahoma City and Tulsa, Fort Smith, and Little Rock. So be aware of that. Also looking at areas farther to the west, like Colorado, northeast New Mexico. That's where we're going to also start the day with rain showers. But Oklahoma City, 7 a.m. Again, that morning drive, getting up there for the school bus, not going to be easy. Tomorrow afternoon, better. So afternoon commute looks a little bit clearer than the morning drive. We do it again on Wednesday. Wednesday morning, we've got some scattered showers. I think less overall coverage than what we've got on Tuesday, but still some scattered rain. It's all thanks to this dip in the jet stream through the early part of the week. That's helping to draw disturbances down. And we've got moisture as well to work with. As these disturbances push out of the Rockies, they help to bring some lift to the area. And along these fronts, that's where moisture tends to congregate. So surface low pressure developing through late week. We've got more opportunities for rain. That's the bottom line. You're like, disturbances, low pressure, what does this all mean to me? That's what it means. Rainfall still to come between now and Thursday. A lot of 1 to 3 inch totals here for Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas. spending time outside nearby these fires. You want to stay indoors if possible. Obviously, that's the best idea. But if you are outdoors, N95 or P100 respirator. If you're driving, set the AC on recirculate. That way it's not drawing in that smoky outside air. And pay attention to local advisories. If they tell you to evacuate, you got to go. California, 5-year average for acreage burned year to date, around 711,000 acres. Now, 2024, we were at 407,000 plus acres. And in 2025, we're a little bit below the mark. So we're running less or lower than we were this time yet last year, and definitely well lower than the 10-year average. Total acreage right now on fire, over 2.1 million acres. We've got just under 200 active U.S. fires. So these are the large fires, those that are greater than 100 acres. You can see Washington and Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, California, Arizona, and western New Mexico, all dealing with a lot of fire coverage. And then the smoke emission from those fires, you can see that fire north of San Francisco in the Napa area throwing off the smoke. So again, you don't have to be in the area, obviously, where the fire is burning to get the smoke. You can see a lot of the Pacific Northwest. That smoke is more widespread. Now, with the rainfall to come, I think it's going to be helpful to some of the fires. Not all the areas that are currently dealing with fires are going to get rain, but at least some, especially interior parts of the West, the Intermountain West, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, northern Utah. These areas could be looking at some 1 to 2 inch totals here over the next 7 days.
All right, Alex, thank you.
Well, nearly 1,400 people lost their lives during Hurricane Katrina, and 80% of New Orleans was flooded. Katrina was the costliest hurricane in United States history, and our hurricane expert, Dr. Rick Knapp, remembers the storm well because he was on the front lines. Well, Dr. Knapp, of course, with us here on the show. You're our hurricane expert. This is one that sticks out for you, like a lot of people. First landfall was in Florida, which, again, some may not remember. What was that like?
Well, it was almost this very hour, 20 years ago today, and my distinct memory from that is because you know how reinforced that building is, and all we could do was look out this little porthole window, and we could see the flag in the parking lot. It had been blown around. A decent amount of wind damage. There were fatalities, and but we were dealing with the hurricane ourselves in our community while forecasting what strengthening we were expecting in the Gulf.
Let's talk about that. Once it came off the coast of Florida, things changed pretty dramatically.
Yeah, and one thing I will never forget, at 2 a.m., the full advisory at 5. Well, I ended up putting out, I think, 3 full advisories that night because it was strengthening so rapidly, so unexpectedly. We did a full special advisory at 2 a.m., as I recall. Then we did the 5 a.m. advisory, and then Richard, what's going on? Because these are the folks who are issuing the local forecasts and briefing emergency managers locally. They're the ones who are going to have to deal with this hurricane in the Gulf. And when I told them it had gone to Cat 5, that was, I'll never forget how quiet it was on the hotline. No reaction, no discussion for a few seconds. We all just had to kind of take it in. Because we knew that significant of a system in the middle of the Gulf, it was going to be bad for somewhere.
And that somewhere, of course,
after the storm, because I had to lead the effort to write the report for Hurricane Katrina, document the meteorological history and the impacts. And that involved going with Max Mayfield to Mississippi. And we got on the ground with some FEMA folks as well. And the sites are staggering. And when you see what 28 feet of storm surge does, there were watermarks way up on what was left of buildings. There was no doubt it was flooding.
Pretty notable stuff. I mean,
I can't believe it's been 20 years. It feels like yesterday in some ways.
It does, I think, to a lot of people. And, we hope we never see another, but I know we learned a lot from it.
It's gut-wrenching to look at those images.